So the capital city is it's a big port. Let me pull up the map again. I can show you where it is if I remember. I'm just gonna capture the whole screen. It's easier that way. So it would be about there is where the capital is. This doesn't show cities, it's just landmass, but right there is the capital. It's a pretty decently sized city. It's got a big bunch of everything, really. It's got probably home. I don't have this. I haven't come up with data for it yet, but it's probably got a population of several million. That would make sense. It's got a big port. It's got a spaceport nearby. So it's a very big. Well, if export was really a thing, they would be big for that. But it's just kind of shipping between the islands and to stuff in space. It's the seat of the central government. And the public opinion here is actually a lot higher of the government than of most other places. What's going on? Hang on. Nope, that's right. Okay. The economy in the planet is decent. It's a bit, as far as like economic type, it would probably be called capitalist still. By Cold War American standards, it would be socialist. But it is still like, it's got private businesses. Government's pretty weak, but it has a lot of regulations on things and social security stuff. I think it actually says a lot that the military is privately run about their kind of economic situation. The public sector is very powerful, despite the kind of government being somewhat selfish. Okay, so what are the majority of governments? On Enterra, there is one central planetary government which directly runs everything. It's a council with 5 members. It's called the Central Council. The members, it's meant to mirror kind of the population split between humans and Terrans. So there's about 5 billion inhabitants of the planet, 3 billion Terrans, 2 billion humans. And so there's 3 Enterran members of the council and 2 human. And that gets mirrored down to local levels as well. Other places I haven't really worked on. So there are some other civilizations, but there are none that Enterra has contact with. The Andromedans are basically a bunch of dictatorships. Earth is scattered. There's no real intact government except for something in Britain, and Iceland Iceland. This is mostly a joke, but Iceland was basically left untouched during the war. It was just ignored. and so it's mostly intact. What the heck is going on with the pressure? The Andromedans have really nothing going on. There's another planet that I haven't talked about. It's like a medieval fantasy type thing. It's basically D&D planet. What the heck? They've got a bunch of like monarchies. There is another major civilization on somewhere else in the galaxy, but I'm still working on the details for it. It's kind of like mini Star Wars. They've got Star Wars type tech. They've got warp drives. They've got they don't use so much jump drives like in Star Wars, but they use gates, wormhole gates, to travel large distances. They've got a huge spacecraft industry. They've got hundreds of models of ships. I have a list somewhere of every ship in that civilization, every type, and everything it can do. There's 5. So I can talk a bit about them. I have a lot less set in stone. I haven't finished working on it yet. I'm nowhere near close to even beginning. But they've got 5 major races in it. You've got kind of humanoid one. Got a couple aquatic ones. You got one that looked like this weird mix of a bunch of aquatic animals. You got like, I'd show you a picture, but I don't have one. Actually, I might. Hang on. I might have scanned one into the computer. I will never find it. No, I don't. I might not have. Okay, yeah, I don't have it. Oh well, but it's basically like aquatic thing. You've got an octopus-like species, which is also aquatic. Then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's other ones. There's two more. But I'm trying to remember what one of them is. I don't remember. But anyway, the 4th one that I remember, maybe there was only 4. The 4th one is robotic. It's a hive mind robots. Nobody knows where they're from, nobody knows what they want, but they've integrated themselves into the society. And people have gotten used to it. They're just kind of there, doing their own thing. Not causing any more of a problem than anyone else. I don't know what kind of government they have, though. Hive mind is just like they're a hive mind. They don't have a government. It doesn't have a government. But the rest of them, I really don't know. Probably something similar to Star Wars with like a Senate and a Chancellor. That civilization is basically all the sci-fi stuff I've ever seen just lumped together. You got inspiration from like Star Wars, Babylon 5, Firefly, not Star Trek. I haven't seen enough Star Trek. The warp gates, I had the idea after playing even. I lost my train of thought. Who's chill? You didn't know who was chill? I do want to mention that civilization I was talking about. That they they are isolated from from like the whole thing with the Earth and the Andromedans and Enterra. They have no idea that any of that is going on, and they've just sheer bad luck, I guess. Nobody has found them either. Well, they do eventually, like 105 years after humans show up on Enterra. So a bit about the calendar they use, because Enterra does not. Oh, the hive mind. Yeah, nobody really knows. They're just there, doing their own thing. There's some regions of the galaxy that they don't let anyone else in, with very efficient defenses. But as long as people don't go there, they're not hostile. They just operate the same as anyone else.